Hi. Welcome to our show.
Well, hi, everybody!
Coming to you somewhat live and semi-weekly from the QUAD M World Headquarters located in Helena's scenic North Valley, this is the QUAD M Show. We are your hosts. I am TJ.
And Jason.
Oh, it's good to be back. after a little week-long hiatus there. And you know, as we get into it here, I do want to apologize. You know, I had said on the unspectacular 50th episode spectacular that I was going to cut together a little bit of best of montage, and I ended up not having time to be able to do it. So.
Yeah, I noticed that. But
that's okay. You know, you want a good best of, just go back and revisit some of the shows that you've missed in the past. You know, anything involving Axl Rose is going to be a best of right there. So, you know.
Fucking bullshit!
No, one of these days I just got to do the preemptive strike and actually, you know, have that shit just ready to go. Instead of, you know, kind of sitting around going, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it when I feel like it. Because then that time comes and, well, there we are.
Here we are.
A week without the QUAD M Show, and some of our regulars going in every day looking to see, is there a new one? Is there a new one? Is there a... No. But that's okay. So, we are back with a new episode, our 51st episode. Yay us.
51st. It is older than us.
How about that? So, now that we're back to the old swing of things, let's go ahead and... Jason, how was your week, sir?
Pretty, boring and unspectacular, really. Didn't really do a whole lot.
No great airsoft? No great airsoft tales of welts and war wounds?
No, we're having trouble getting teams together.
Really?
Because everybody's got their vaginas full of sand, and they can't seem to get the post hole digger out of their wife's purse to come out and play with the boys.
You'd figure, it's overcast. Now, I don't know how it was here Sunday. I know how it was, and I'll get into the whole Glendive thing. When I was in Glendive, it was very rainy and overcast, and my drive all the way back home that night was drizzly, rainy, and overcast. So I would figure with a little bit of the rain, you know, people would want to come out, you know, because it wasn't all the blistering heat that it's been the last frickin' month. But no, they're all a bunch of sissies.
Yep.
I don't want to get pneumonia.
Yeah, so basically just a few of us went hiking up the area. We found a Native American flint quarry where the Native Americans would come and get their flint for arrowheads, knives, that type of stuff.
Come on, cousin, we got to go to the depot.
Kind of, yeah. The Home Depot of
the Home Depot of the Native American crowd. What y'all say here?
We got flint, cousin.
And?
Flint. We've got flint, cousin.
No blankets or fireworks?
No, flint, cousin.
It's his old Ranger Smith bottom out of everything else.
Uh-huh.
Haven't seen your boy Ranger Smith around there in a while, have you?
No, it's a good thing. I don't need to hear your impersonation of Ranger Smith.
It's not an impression. It's Ranger Smith.
Hey, come on, guys. It's getting pretty lonely up here. Old Ranger Smith. He's missing you guys.
How do you make this thing ignore TJ?
Well, so since there wasn't a lot going on there, I can tell you, TJ had himself a little bit of a weekend. Spent my time doing the Badlands Supercon over in beautiful downtown Glendive, Montana. And there's a bit of a tale, as there always is with these things. So I leave here. Well, God, what was it? I think I left here Thursday, because they had announced they were giving Thursday hours to be able to move in and set your shit up, get yourself going, and be ready for Friday. Like most big conventions will. Smaller conventions usually just give you those couple hours before game time. So I decided, what the hell, I'm going to take the advantage and go forth and do this. And so on the drive to, and I think really anybody that's had the pleasure of driving, from central Montana to the eastern side of the state, anyone can pretty much tell you the drive from Helena to Billings, not too bad. You know, relatively scenic. You know, you got the West Yellowstone portion you're going through, the Gallatin Gateway.
Yep.
You know, there's some beautiful scenery, but man, once you get a couple miles past Billings, it is just flat and boring and wasteland as shit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So there's a lot of this. There's a lot of my hand outstretched, continuously doing the radio search, trying to find something to listen to. And I don't know if this was a Billings station or if it was a Miles City station. I don't know. All I know is I hit it, and I think they called themselves the 92 point something, the Mojo. I'm like, all right, let's see what kind of magic you're going to whip up for me. And this was the first time I have ever blindly found a radio station. And for the first 3 songs, knocked it out of the fucking park. I'm saying, I'm like a fucking like a late teens, early 20s girl. Oh my god, I love this station. Oh, blah, blah, blah. 2 out of what I consider to be 2 out of the 3 most perfect pop songs were played. And one of them and now after actually having sit and actually listen to the whole damn thing, another close contention for top 5. So in this group of like 3 songs, and feel free, laugh as you will when I say this.
I will.
ABBA's Dancing Queen. Dude, that's a classic fucking song.
Okay.
You can say disco all you want, but just that dun, 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 it's a great song. And the 2 ABBA chicks for like 1979, smoking fucking hot. So you had ABBA's Dancing Queen. So you got me all bouncing around, with that shit. Then, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the band that did this, but there was this old 70s disco-ish funk fusion type song, You Dropped a Bomb on Me. And I'm just like, oh my god, this fucking... Oh my god. If they could get this next one out, oh my god, if they can get this next one, oh my god. Third song, Chicago's Feeling Stronger Every Day. To me, I classify it as the second greatest pop song ever fucking written. It just starts out slow and mellow. Guy's kind of a little bit sad about his recent breakup and blah, 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 blah. And then it just builds and builds and builds until you get this fucking just rockin' kick-ass fucking guitar rock song as you're barreling down the highway. Then it went downhill from there where it was just playing jive-ass fucking shit. And okay, all right, we're going to go ahead and do the search again. So, Mojo, you had it. You had me at the first 3. and then you pissed it away. So then, after about a 7-hour drive, rolled into Glendive, and I made the. Oh wait, hold on. Let me backtrack this real quick. Okay, so as I'm continuing forth my drive, are you familiar or aware of the town called Terry?
No.
Okay, wouldn't surprise me. It's a blink if you miss it type of a deal, right?
Sure. Well, it's spot in the road of the bar.
Well, and a gas station.
Well, yeah.
And it's very important that this gas station was there. because apparently, a diet of Mountain Dew and Burger King after, 5 or 6 hours will tend to build up.
Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle.
Gurgle, gurgle. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. And I had made a visit to one of the rest areas before, and this is about another 45 minutes to an hour, and it was like, oh no. And I'm sitting there passing by these exits going, maybe I should pull off. And it wasn't like Reno. It wasn't like that trip that Jesse and I had to Reno, where it was like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, so no one was going to see. I mean, we're talking fucking broad daylight here. So I had to curtail this shit, literally. Find this town called Terry. I'm like, all right, boom. I pull in. I come, pull in. Find the gas station. Go in, pull into the gas station. Get out of the car, and I start making my beeline in there, and I go at the door. And the way it's set up, you got your little, as you walk in, to your left, you've got all of your various goods and sundries. Straight ahead, you've got your checkout registers. And to the right is like this seating area, for people that, buy the chicken or hot dogs or fucking rattlesnake or whatever it is they eat in Terry. And the gal gets up from there, comes walking around. She's like, how's it going? I'm like, good. And she just looks at me and she goes, it's around the corner. Without even missing a beat. I said, okay, thank you. And I make my bill around. Get
Not the first poop weary traveler.
get my business taken care of. I come back out. Now, having used the facilities, I feel morally obligated to at least make a purchase of something, right? So I get like a Mountain Dew and a thing of gum, and I go and she's, hand her the debit card. She's like, "Yeah, I have at least a $5 purchase." All right, take the gum back, and I get a thing of beef jerky. Slap it down, all that, and she's ringing it up. I go, so much like what you just said. So I'm not the first poop weary traveler you've had. Come on. She goes, "I worked 10 years in an emergency room. I know the look."
Oh, shit.
So I says, "Fantastic, darling. Thank you so much for your help and your hospitality. You have yourself a wonderful day." Got my stuff, got in the rig, and got my ass on the way down to Glendive. And once I pulled into town, I immediately made the venture over to the convention center because I think they were opening it up for people to load in between the hours of like 12 noon and 6. And I think I got there somewhere around 2:30. So give myself some time. I preface this by saying I had not slept the night before. So I'm running on well over 24 hours being awake. So I get in, pull in, come in, and I talk to a gal by the name of Christy Burry. She's one of the two. Her and her husband. God, now I'm gonna feel like an ass. I believe Steve was his name. I'll have to double check, and I apologize if I've messed his name up. But talked to her. Everything was fantastic. Showed me where the booth was, and the first thing that struck me was how big this venue was. Like, obviously you're familiar with working the NagaCon and how we're just like in this small little hotel conference room, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And you've been to Reno, so you know how big and vast the square footage on that thing is, right? Mm-hmm. Think of it as being about maybe like a third of the size of Reno.
Okay.
Say just the vendor area of that, but still huge for this, and I would say even slightly bigger, maybe even half the size. But I mean, just huge for what I would think Glendive being just a small little podunk shit in town has this huge, big ass fucking area, and I was just like, wow, this is actually really fucking cool. Okay. And again, I figure, okay, I'm Artist Alley, so I'll have my little 4x8 table booth space. I'm like, no, this was the same size booth area as like the small press booth that we had when we did our very first show in Reno of 2014.
Huh.
I mean, it was like 10 by 10. It was huge. So I had plenty of fucking elbow room to fucking just, do whatever, sprawl out the whole 9 yards. Based on, number one, how tired I was, and number two, that I had plenty of time. This is probably the longest it's ever taken me to set up a table. Usually I can have it done, inside of 45 minutes. I mean, NagaCon, how quick we were, just boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
Everything's up. It took me about 3 hours. just because of how fucking tired I was. Between the drive, no sleep, almost having accidents, it was just this show, just a fucking show. And of course, it's hot as hell in there. They don't have any air conditioning, so I'm fucking sweating to be damned. But so get everything all set up. We're good to go. We're squared away. Fantastic. Go to the hotel, and thankfully, again, because it is Glendive, all it is just one fucking road.
Uh-huh.
The way I best described it was there's a small town we have called Deer Lodge. Someone had asked me, "What's Glendive like?" And I says, "It's about 2 Deer Lodges put together. Really, I mean, it's not much, but you got your one main thoroughfare, and so it's just basically a straight drive from the hotel to the convention center and back. And fortunately, there was a bar right within staggering distance, so
Of course.
I was set for the weekend. We're good to go. And now getting into the con proper. What I will say is the Burries had, for a first-time show, being run in such a small town as Glendive, I will say these guys totally fucking rocked it. These guys put on an excellent show. apparently they had invited the three big name musical guests they had in there. One was Johnny Holland. I'd never heard of that guy. Jackie Vincent was a guy that I had never heard of, and apparently he was actually like a really big deal. He was like Guitar World's 2012 Guitarist of the Year. Apparently a band, his current band I think is called Cry Venom. He was previously in a band called like Forward Falling Backward or Backwards Falling Forward. I'm not sure. I'm not, unfortunately, I'm kind of in that old fart. I don't know what these kids are listening to nowadays. But suffice to say, 2012, I don't care if it was 4 years ago, 2012's Guitar Player of the Year, that's a pretty decent poll. So, good on them for doing that. They had a really cool replica DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Right on.
Which was, it was full on the whole 9 yards. They had the working LED flux capacitor in there, and they had the Mr. Fusion sitting on the back. It was pretty wicked. Got plenty of copies of Enigma sold. Obviously I was, with a small convention like this, you're not making a fortune, but all my expenses were paid.
Nice.
Plus a profit on the side. So as long as you do that, that's a fucking win-win. In the indie comic book business, kids, don't ever think you're going to fucking make it rich doing this. Your number one goal working these fucking conventions is cover your expenses.
Please pay for the table.
Oh, fuck. Hey, man, depending on how much you got to fucking put in for it, man, the table, hotel, gas, if you fly in, airline tickets, this shit can add up. So
Indeed.
that's one of these things, down the road, now that I don't have to worry about having, the little lady with me anymore. I can sleep at the fucking truck stops and have my dollar shower and hit the show in the morning and save myself $400.
There you go.
What's more important, the ability to walk comfortably because your spine's not out of whack, or $400? Hey, I'll take the 400. Thank you. But yeah, no, and it was kind of like, it was like Bizarro World in a way, because normally when doing the shows, Friday and Sunday are usually kind of your dead bookend days, and your big money day is Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I made the post on this. Friday was the best single opening day that I've had for any show that I have worked.
Oh, good for you.
It wasn't so much, I believe, with the sales numbers, but it was with the actual dollar amount that was brought in.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, so Glendive, yeah, you got the fucking thumbs up right there for that. Saturday was my worst day.
Huh.
Which, of course, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, well, I pretty much sold to everyone that I'm going to fucking sell to. And then Sunday, I fucking kill it again. So, it's weird, in regards to that. But, hey, I'll take it for what it is. And like I said, they ran a really great show. I think the two strikes they may have had against them, number one, Labor Day weekend. Because, it's Montana. Labor Day weekend, people are out fucking camping. They're getting their last little row of summer in.
Indeed.
And I think, too, Salt Lake was running their Comic-Con on the same weekend. So a lot of, a lot of potential Montana vendors were going to be in Salt Lake as opposed to being, there to do the show. They've already listed dates for next year's Glendive show. So depending on what Salt Lake conjures up, I'm going to talk to, guys like our good friend Chris McClanahan, mm-hmm. and a couple of other Montana vendors that I know, and tell them, hey, this is actually a really good show to work. As long as you're willing to fucking work and sell and chill, it's a good turnout. The only other thing I would probably suggest to them, and I don't know if they're actually going to listen to the show or not, but the only other thing I would suggest is if they have the budget for it. Last year, there was like 3 different people that were trying to run 3 different conventions in Billings in like a 5-month time span. And that town doesn't have the size for that. It can't do that shit. It's not going to survive. And all 3 of them this year ended up clusterfucking themselves, so there was no shows in Billings. So to me, in my sensibilities, if they have the budget for it, I would certainly kick up the advertising in Billings for next year and go out as far as Dickinson in North Dakota, because that's a college town. And you can have all those hipsters want to come in and check out the cons and shit. I think if they can get that advertising going there, shit, they're going to be pulling in at least 3,000 to 5,000 people. And it would definitely make Glendive kind of a weird but really cool convention hotspot for people to show up to. brings money into Montana, brings money into Glendive, and we're all winners. But yeah, so I mean, final thoughts when it comes to that show. As long as we have Enigma number 4 and hopefully the trade printed up by that time, I'll definitely be doing the show again. I don't know so much if we don't have like number 4 and the trade out. It's kind of hard to sell the same thing to the same people that you just saw a year ago. So, that's my take on it. I thought they did a really great bang up job, and I was really glad that I went.
Right on.
So there we go. Any questions?
No. No, I think you covered every detail in excruciating detail.
Well, because, that's what I do. All that stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead here. And as we start to wrap up this first segment, as always, we've got ourselves, even during the week we were gone, people were still coming in and checking us out. The top 10 cities that were visiting us, checking out the show, checking out the website, and all that type of stuff. Top 10 cities visiting the QUAD M Productions.
Okay.
In at number 10, and this is very con heavy, I'll tell you right now. In at number 10, Sydney, Montana.
Huh.
In at number 9, Miles City, Montana.
Huh.
Yep. That's great. Fantastic Wendy's there in Miles City. Stopped there on the way out of town because Glendive doesn't have a fast food joint. Number 8, and I'm not sure where this town is. You might want to Google-fy this if you have a chance here. Houghton? I'll say Houghton or Houghton. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll spell it for you.
You got it.
I don't think states matter.
Okay.
This is HOUGHTON.
Got New York or Michigan.
Well, either one will do for this. I'll probably say New York since we've had New York City on here before. I don't know that we've had that reach in Michigan. So we'll go New York.
Yeah. Let's go to New York.
We'll go New York. All right, so Houghton or Houghton, New York. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. In at number 7, Los Gatos, California. I know that's in California because somebody decided to pull some shenanigans and identity theft on me from Los Gatos, California.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, buying themselves diapers and meth products.
Oh.
Bastards. Hope it's not the same people. In at number 6, Chico, California. And then here we go for some good old local Montana love. In at number 5, we got ourselves Missoula. The Zoo Town is back in.
All right.
In at number 4, Bozeman.
Of course.
Gotta love it. You gotta love these college kids. Bless your hearts. In at number 3, Chicago. And the surrounding area.
Huh.
Like Arlington Heights.
Yeah. Okay.
Our boy, hey, even a week on, our boy's still in there checking it out and listening. God love you. In at number 2, Helena.
Uh-oh.
Oh, somebody knocked the home team off. Holy cow. In at number 1, are you ready for number 1? Glendive, Montana.
Duh. Oh, shit.
Oh, boy. But that, here again, if it's an off week, we're out of town. I'm out of town. The Glendive people are hitting.
Sure, you were in Glendive, so the people in Glendive were getting on their little jiggers and going to the website and stuff.
Of course they were. That's how a guy sells. And also, too, whilst I was away, we managed to get ourselves a new Z-List celebrity follower for the week.
Okay.
This Z-List celebrity follower that we have this week is a gentleman by the name of Zachary Boychuk. Zachary Boychuk is a Canadian professional ice hockey center and currently is an unrestricted free agent. He was most recently under contract with the Carolina Hurricanes organization of the NHL. He was drafted by the Hurricanes in the first round, 14th overall in the 2008 NHL entry draft. He played junior hockey with the Lethbridge Hurricanes of the Western Hockey League.
All right.
Got ourselves an NHL player following us now.
A Canadian, eh?
On the Tweetar.
On the Twitter.
On the Tweetar.
With the boot, eh?
Rockin' booty everywhere. All right, so with that, we will go ahead. We will wrap up this first segment of the QUAD M show. We will come back with a triple header of FGS award winners, as well as some hot takes. This is the QUAD M Show. Stay tuned.
Have you checked out QuadMProductions.com lately? QuadMProductions.com is your direct access hookup to order Enigma the comic book series and download the QUAD M podcast. Check the appearances page for upcoming events and contact us with questions or comments. Don't be the only lonely soul who's missing out on all the fun. Visit us today at QuadMProductions.com. That's QuadMProductions.com.
Welcome back to this here QUAD M Show. We are your hosts. I am TJ.
And Jason.
And this segment, as always, is sponsored in part by Mirror Salon and Spa. Now, I know you guys have been seeing those pics online. You're saying to yourselves, damn, how does TJ get that awesome hair? Well, a very small part of that is genetics. The big credit, however, goes to Shauna and all the fine folks over at Mirror. If you're in the Helena area, make your reservations today to get all of your hair, nail, spa, lash extensions, or permanent eyeliner needs met. Walk-ins are always welcome. Tell them QUAD M sent you and get yourself $5 off any service they provide. That is Mirror Salon and Spa. Give them a call today, 406-603-0644, or stop on in, 2043 North Last Chance Gulch in Helena. That is Mirror Salon and Spa.
Bah.
And if you guys were online this past weekend, you know, going back again to that Glendive, that Badlands Glendive show, there was a gentleman who runs himself a little production company, and he was doing some promo movie shooting, you know, to bring in vendors that next.
Your little video?
Yeah. And after seeing that video, Jesus Christ, I did not know I looked that bad. I mean, I looked like fucking 10 pounds of monkey shit stuffed into a 5-pound bag, man. Holy fuck.
You kind of had this weird Steven Seagal squint going on, too.
Dude, God almighty. I mean, there's a reason why I was sitting there saying I'm going to be doubling up the cardio and hitting that diet. And then looking at that video, holy shit, I did not realize. Why didn't you say anything? I did not realize I was getting
I didn't know I had to get on
hand.
Facebook, be like, damn, you look fat and fatty.
Holy cow, Axel. Holy Jesus, Axel. You know, people in glass houses, TJ. And I'm a...
Shouldn't walk around naked.
And I'm a stone-throwing sumbitch. So yes, needless to say, hopefully within the next few months, that'll be, you know, I'll isolate that and have that as the before, and then after 2 months of the solid cardio and the diet, let's see where we're sitting at that point. Double up the cardio, diet, and a little bit of tan bed. Let's see what happens. I won't be so pasty looking like that fucking Violet chick from Willy Wonka after she fucking chewed the gum. Golly. Horrible looking. God.
Yeah, come on over. Read yourself the Enigma.
Yeah. Let's get into some Fred G. Sanford.
Let's do that.
Okay, so like I said here, heading into the break, we got ourselves a lovely little triple header here. So I'll go ahead and kick it off with our first award winner. Florida man was arrested after using his own wanted poster as his Facebook profile picture.
You big dummy.
Oh, Stewart police said they were able to track down Mac Yearwood, a man with 2 outstanding warrants, as well as a possible tie to an open case after he used his own wanted poster as his Facebook profile picture. Facebook is a great way to communicate and connect with old friends and family, Corporal Brian Bazio wrote in a post on the Stewart Police Department's Facebook page. If you are wanted by the police, it's probably not a good idea to use the Wanted of the Week poster of yourself as your public profile.
You big dummy.
Comments?
Oh, man.
Police earlier this week, or earlier last week, responded to a call about an alleged battery at a local home. And while he had already fled the scene, the victim pointed to Yearwood as the possible suspect. Once officers began digging into the 42-year-old suspect, they learned of his outstanding warrants and then came across his social media accounts. When officers found Yearwood, he was sleeping at his brother's house, and upon their arrival, requested an officer hand him his pants. Hold on, it gets better. When he began to dress, Bosio explained a bag of weed fell out of his pants pockets, resulting in an additional cannabis possession charge.
Wow, man.
Yearwood has not yet, however, been charged in the battery case, as it is still under investigation.
Awesome.
That's why I do what I do and doctor up your photos. Don't use your wanted. Bring the funny. Bring the funny. Oh, what one do you got, sir?
Well, I'm not sure if this is like a big dummy or a genius in disguise. I don't know. But it's the tale of Lawrence John Ripple.
Ripple.
Yeah.
I like a fifth of Ripple.
This is why we had to have him in Fredgie Sanford.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, here's the story of Lawrence John Ripple. Mr. Ripple is 70 years old, married, and fed up with his wife's shit.
Fuck you, I'm tired of your shit.
After an argument with his wife, Lawrence John Ripple was so fed up with her shit, he robbed a bank. He walked into the Bank of Labor in Kansas City, Kansas, brandishing a note that read, "I have a gun, give me money." After receiving the money, Mr. Fed Up with her shit
Fuck you, I'm tired of your shit.
sat down in the bank lobby to await the police. He told the security guard, "I'm the guy you're looking for."
I'm your huckleberry.
So when he was questioned by investigators, he told them about the argument with his wife and said he no longer needed to be in that situation. The same affidavit also says he wrote the note in front of his wife and informed her that he'd rather be in jail.
You know, and as I was going through, I saw this article. There were two things that I said to myself as to why this should be in here. Number one, obviously, the name of Ripple. That has to fucking be in a Fredgie somehow.
Lawrence John Ripple.
I like a fifth of Ripple.
And number two, you know, it just the whole set of circumstances surrounding it. And it's one of those things where, just like you said, I didn't put it in just because of the fact that I did not know if I could really count that as being Fredgie Sanford, as opposed to something that...
That's why I said, I don't know if it's like Fredgie Sanford or fucking genius, because
really, there's not a man alive that is not going to relate to this fucking story.
70 years old, dude, he ain't worried about getting pussy anymore.
Well, exactly.
So he's free.
It's like the last dude, the 90-year-old. What does he care if he gets arrested for soliciting prostitution? He's 90. What does he care?
Fucking A. He's got a retirement plan now.
Exactly. Golly, 3 hots in a cot. That's all he needs, and he doesn't have to listen to. Yeah. But it's with respect, sir, that you get the award. It's with respect. All right, and then finally, North Carolina man burns down his shed after blowtorching spider webs.
You big dummy, see what you did?
Well, you know, I'm pretty sure that is not the first time a story like that has come about.
Oh, so a 74-year-old man removing cobwebs with a blowtorch caused an explosion that burned down his shed in eastern Iredell County last Wednesday afternoon.
You big dummy.
Henry Wayne Gurley. God, I love the South. Henry Wayne Gurley. Said he routinely used a propane torch to burn spider webs around his house and shed. He's done it for over 16 years and never had any issues.
Well,
while performing the task this past Wednesday evening, or last Wednesday evening, Gurley took a break for about 5 minutes to go inside his house. Then he heard a boom.
Stephen Lackey,
was outside next door when he heard the commotion. He said he immediately grabbed a hose and began to fill water in a trash can to douse the flames. He was trying to prevent it from spreading to his father's house next door. Gurley wasn't injured, but the fire consumed the building. He figured the blaze started when one of the 2 propane tanks stored inside the shed exploded. Now, I've seen a couple of the Mythbusters episodes and have seen what it takes to actually make a propane tank explode.
Right, yeah.
And we've actually talked about this.
We have.
It has that fucking regulator on there that just pops and it just shoots the shit out. So all you get is a steady stream that comes out. So it doesn't blow up.
Yep.
So I wonder what the hell happened.
Maybe it had a slow leak.
And maybe there was a pinhole in there, you know.
And,
down south, the humidity, it'll rust.
And
Shit'll rust.
I don't know. But, you know.
Oh, well, more entertainment for us.
Propane is explosive. So
Gotta love that propane, I'll tell you what.
But interesting fact. There is
Once
No.
again, it's time for Bert's fun facts.
This is a fun fact. There is in the United States, there is no regulation against the manufacture, sale, or possession of flamethrowers.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not covered under ATF.
It's not covered under anything.
Yeah.
And it's the ATFE now. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. To
Oh,
me, that
explosives
sounds
are
like
in
a
there?
party. 'Cause
I was going to say, dude, fucking rocking booty everywhere. Oh, Gurley estimated that the fire destroyed about $25,000 in tools and equipment. He even lost a 100-pound filleted catfish that he had caught at Lookout Lake earlier in the summer. Sources report it took approximately 20 minutes to extinguish the blaze.
Filet.
Well, the way it's spelled is F-I-L-L-E-T-E-D.
Filleted.
Is that how you go as filleted?
It's one of those weird fucking... It's English.
I think
dude.
even I think Canadians pronounce it filleted. I've heard it used in fish stick commercials before. The Gorton's Fisherman, and it's filleted cod. I think like a bisexual, it goes both ways.
I think you're hearing things.
No. You know what? I will find that commercial and I will play it at the end of this fucking show just to prove my point.
No, you find it now.
I know. I trust the Gorton's Fisherman. We don't have time for that shit now. I'll put it in the edit. Prove my point to all the kids. All right. So, to you, Mr. Gurley, to you, Mr. Ripple, and to you, Mr. Yearwood, congratulations, all three of you, on winning this week's coveted Fred G. Sanford Award.
You dummy!
For stupidity and ingeniousness.
Yeah,
I can make up my own words.
Lawrence John Ripple.
I like a fifth of Ripple.
No. In these parts, we call him LJ Ripple.
LJ.
Give him a little highfalutin distinguishing marks there. All right, well, let's go ahead.
I'm going to call
here.
him Larry.
Larry Ripple. Oh, let's get into some hot takes.
And the sign gotta say hot. It gotta say hot. You gotta say hot.
Okay.
Larry Ripple.
Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Ripple. Do you want to get out of your marriage in 3 easy steps? Follow me, the Larry Ripple. the Larry Ripple Marriage Annulment Seminars.
And retirement. Annulment and retirement plans.
God. All right. So, not to get too heavy on this, but during the week off, unfortunately, you know, we kind of had, the celebrities always go in threes. So the first one to go was Kenny Baker. The second one to go was Mr. Fuji, classic WWE, WWF manager. But really kind of the big one nationwide that, everyone was posting their Facebook. Oh, it's so sad. The passing of Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Took place while we were on break. And so we might be a little bit late to the dance, but I think
Gene Wilder deserves a little respect, man.
Considering our love for his movies, it would be a crime if we didn't spend a little bit of time talking about him. Because he's one of those actors where it's like he really didn't do a hell of a lot after like the mid 90s. Actually, I don't even think like the last movie of note was See No Evil, Hear No Evil in '89. And I looked on the IMDb, and there was like some sporadic stuff here and there, but that was pretty much the last deal. But you look at the movies that had come out.
He'd been making movies since the 70s and stuff. So.
Even before then, yeah. It was like late. I think as I look at the, with the notes here, his like major film debut was in '67, Bonnie and Clyde. You know, the one with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, I think, played Bonnie in that one. But anyways, yeah, that was his first major role.
I'm from Wisconsin originally. Where the cheese comes from.
Oh, but he just loves Texas now. Don't you, Eugene?
Don't sell that cow.
Or, first major motion picture role that he'd been in. And then, 20 years of, just excellence going forth with that. So a little bit of the IMDb history on our dearly departed friend, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder was born Jerome Sieberman on June 11th, 1933, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to a Jeannie and William J. Sieberman, who manufactured miniature whiskey and beer bottles. His father was a Russian Jewish immigrant, while his Illinois-born mother was of a Russian Jewish descent. And that's really all I, got out, did with the IMDb there. But, I went and I pulled, what do we got here? 3, 6, 9, like it's 10 movies that I thought were really, the bee's knees. So yeah, and these are in chronological order. So you had the first one being Bonnie and Clyde, his big breakout role.
Sure.
The Producers.
Okay.
Which I think Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick were doing a Broadway run of that, where they were doing that whole springtime for Hitler. And then the next one really, I'm gonna say this is probably one of his 3 benchmark films, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Indeed.
That right there. If it wasn't for him in that movie, we wouldn't have memes flying across the fucking introverse, internet universe with the,
Indeed.
Oh, so you like? Well, then tell me about.
Wrong, sir. Wrong. Under Section 37B of the contract signed by him, it states quite clearly that all offers shall become null and void if, and you can read it for yourself in this photostatic copy, I, the undersigned, shall forfeit all rights, privileges, and licenses herein and herein contained, etc., etc., fax mentis incendium gloria culpum, etc., etc., memo bis punitor delicatum. It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
One I think a lot of people sleep on, but really is a fucking hilarious. If you haven't had a chance to check this out, you need to watch this. Woody Allen's Everything You Wanted to Know About Sex, but Were Afraid to Ask.
Oh man, that's been a fucking decades or so since I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I this is one I slept on, but then I remembered his role in it. He was the one that was like in love with the inflatable sheep.
Oh.
that was Gene Wilder, see? You go from Willy Wonka to sheep fucker. That's
Of course you do.
acting.
Science.
We'll get there.
Milos, I'm going to have to call the police. Can we talk for a minute? Mr. Milos, don't put that sheep on my desk. Please. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that.
Isn't Daisy beautiful?
Yes, she's beautiful. Hello, Daisy. She's so wonderful. I'm Dr. Ross. Doug Ross. Mr. Milos, I'd like to see the two of you again, but right now, my office is jammed full.
Oh, I knew you could help. Thank you, Doctor.
As a matter of fact, if I could see Daisy alone, maybe,
Anything.
And then follow that up with Blazing Saddles.
Fucking A, one of my most favoriteest movies of all times, dude. And with like this line right here.
You gotta remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West.
Morons.
When you walk into customer service, that's like right there. That's it.
But I mean, just so much across the board. You know, like oh, those cross burdens. It's so hard to get them ashes off. I mean, so many one-liners that came out of that movie. You know, and really, and of course, the next one, Young Frankenstein.
Another fucking. I love that movie too.
You know,
werewolf, they're wolf.
Yeah, so I mean, right there, you've got, and if you really look about it, you think about like three. He had this like trifecta of movies because you had three that were with Mel Brooks.
Oh, you keep going before I interrupt again.
Sure, you got the three that were with Mel Brooks. You had the producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
Then you get into his trilogy of comedies with Richard Pryor.
Fucking A. Those were epic.
Where we got Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, and See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Fucking A, dude. The when I finally got home, was able to relax and stuff. When I heard about Gene Wilder, Hear No Evil, See No Evil was the top of the movie playlist. I watched that one just because, man. Cause him and Richard Pryor, they were fucking hilarious. Holy fuck, dude. I mean, like movies you watch and your side hurts.
Oh yeah.
The next day you're sore because you're like, oh man, that Richard fuck.
even as I mean, See No Evil, Hear No Evil is still. I would consider that to probably be the lesser of the three movies. Is still fucking hilarious.
It is.
All right, no more bullshit. Was there or wasn't there a woman?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm goddamn serious.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a woman?
You know, and then, I mean, of course, you know, Silver Streak. I mean, just the scene with him fucking getting coated in the fucking shoe polish and then doing his fucking jive walking out with the radio. Like, we're never going to get across the cops. No, we just better hope we don't come across any Muslims. I mean, these guys were... There's always those great comedy duos. You know, you got like your Abbott and Costello. Like our generation probably would be like Chris Farley and David Spade.
Sure.
You know, they had their 2 or 3 movies together. And this was another one of those really just guys you wouldn't have thought, you know, could get to it. And honestly, I don't know if it would have been a better movie, but I would certainly love to know what Blazing Saddles would have been like if Richard Pryor had not just been a writer, but also had been in that Cleavon Little role.
Yeah, but you know, it's Cleavon Little is he's the guy now. So I mean,
it'd be what it be.
But yeah, but he wrote for Mongo. I mean, what did he wrote the lines while he was taking a shit? Come on, Mongo only pawn in Game of Life.
Only pawn in Game of Life. Well, you know the best line that Richard Pryor wrote for that movie, they edited it out. Because there's, you know, the scene where, you know, they're going to have their little nighttime shenanigans, and she says, it's Twoo, and they edit out where he says, damn, baby, why you licking my arm? That line should have stayed in there.
I know, dude. They cut that line, but they leave up yours.
Yeah, fucking, you brute. They take that line out, but they leave in the French mistake. It was a different time. It was a different time, my friend. All right. But so anyways, yes, Gene Wilder, thank you for the years and years of entertainment and safe home to you. Safe home to you. So with that, Mr. Wilder, let's go ahead here. And you got a couple stories here for us. First off, let's talk about the Crow reboot.
The Crow. This one I am so on the fucking fence about. Because I don't know. I mean, they're calling it a reboot. But from what I understand, from what I've read, is they're going to go more along the line of the comic rather than how the original Crow and the other one
City of Angels or whatever that sequel was. Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of like, they weren't a true adaptation of the comic book.
Right.
Whereas this reboot is going to be more true to the comic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got Jason Momoa, dude. And
that's selling it for me right there.
Me too. I mean, if I was gay, I'd probably go for a guy like that.
Well, yeah, you know, we've all got ones that, you know, in all theoreticalness, you know, we would switch the other team for. Jason Momoa is not that guy for me. You know, I used to have one that was a real person and then two fictional characters. And then the real person went and started playing with the Denver Broncos, so I said, "Fuck you, I'm divorcing you." So now it's just the two fictional characters for me.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer and the Dos Equis guy.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, you know, because we had kind of covered this story like a long time ago, like early on in the show's history. We were kind of talking about this and how it was kind of back and forthing as to whether it was going to happen.
Yeah, and they didn't say anything about Jason Momoa, did they?
At that point in time, I think the names that were really coming up was Tom Hardy was like the number one that they were wanting to pull. But like the director that they have listed in there, what was that director's name? It was yeah, because at that point in time, Colin Hardy was supposed to be directing, and then he backed out when that Relativity Pictures, which is the movie company that's doing it, they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and so he said, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." And then Relativity got their shit in a pile. They got all their stuff restructured. They got the funding for the movie. So Colin Hardy comes back, and now they got Momoa, and they're looking at, you know, starting the filming in January. So if it's going to be more faithful to the comic, it's one of those deals where I'm always going to be more into it if they're more faithful to the source material. So, I mean, is it a comic movie? Yes. Am I going to go to it if it's here? Yes. Are we going to give it some bullshit review? Yes. But, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's still, I think it's something that's definitely going to be worth the time. My only drawback to that is that when you have a movie that is that, what's the word I'm looking for? Tumultuous in its production history, normally doesn't lead to a good movie.
Here's the thing, dude. You know, when the first Crow came out, it was, I mean, goddamn, it was like everybody's almost favorite movie and shit. It was almost like a plague, you know? Mm-hmm. Right? Now, I'm sure you haven't seen it in a while. Go back and watch it now, and you're like, you know, it's a decent movie, but
I think part of its
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, and I think part of its mistake. I think number one, it's definitely a '90s movie. It's definitely
Indeed.
that grunge era style movie. I think the mystique and the reason why people were just glomming onto this film
Brandon Lee.
was because of the accidental death of Brandon Lee. Mm-hmm. It kind of gave it that mystique and that ooh type of thing about it. But like you said, you know, 20 years later, I don't know that it's held
now
up.
that the ooh and mystique is kind of worn off. Go back and give it a rewatch.
Yeah, and it's a movie.
Yeah,
it's okay. I never watched the second one.
I know I saw it once, and I remember being so disappointed that I didn't really bother.
Horrible comic book movies.
Awesome sauce.
But yeah. So we'll give it a chance. We'll see what happens there.
Yep.
And okay, so then you've also got some MythBusters news.
Well, kind of MythBusters. Well, everybody's favorite B team. You know, Cary Grant and Tori are kind of getting a MythBusters show going on Netflix. Well, actually, it's going to be released December 9th. They're going to be releasing the new series on Netflix, and it's going to be an entire season dump. So you can get some good old-fashioned binge watching in.
Right. Well, that's how Netflix works, which is why I love Netflix so bad. But so is it going to be under the MythBusters banner, or is it...
I'm not sure, but it's from... That's about all the information you get. So.
Okay. Well, still, that's 3 months worth of lead time to build get us chomping at the bit. You know, any opportunity I can get to see a little bit more of Carrie, I'm always a fan of that.
Oh, and she had that. Carrie was awesome because she started off like the vegan California girl,
the crazed liberal, green chick.
Yeah, right. And then towards the end of the show, she's fucking packing around 50s and blowing shit up.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, but she's still a vegan.
Yeah, she found her dark side though.
I'd like to find out her dark side. Okay, so we'll keep the ear to the ground on that one. That's definitely something that I'll be wanting to check out here.
Indeed, and it's on Netflix. So I mean, you've already got Netflix. So.
Exactly. Well, apparently there was some issue with a swappage of a credit card or something along those lines. Basically what happened was when the banks updated the shit, I didn't update my billing shit with that. So I got to go in and get that shit corrected.
Gotcha.
And I got to do it here because, you got the new Luke Cage series coming out here at the end of the month. Mythbusters here. Plus, I want to check out the Stranger Things. So there's plenty of Netflix that I need to do my little bit of binge watching on as well.
Gotcha.
All right. So next item up for bid.
Forbid.
Now we the other week, on the last show, we were making a little bit of fun towards Ryan Lochte.
Ryan.
Now, for those of you living in caves but somehow still have internet access to be able to listen to the show, and you're not quite in the know, Ryan Lochte was the Olympic swimmer who decided that him and a couple other boys in the team were going to go and destroy some Rio de Janeiro gas station convenience store properties by, raping, pillaging, and pissing all over everywhere. And then, of course, the security guards pulled a gun on him, and he went on to say that he got robbed. It was this whole fucking show. The resulting consequences of his actions was basically all of his fucking sponsors dropped his ass.
Yeah.
Well...
And they should have.
And by rights, yes. So apparently, according to the USA Today, and the only reason I knew to go looking for this was because I was looking for comic book conventions, and so I was on Wizard seeing what was up. Yeah, so Ryan Lochte is signed up and is scheduled to be making an appearance at the Wizard World Comic Con in Richmond.
Oh, see, this guy deserves an FGS award too.
According to USA Today, after losing 4 sponsors in 1 week, the Olympian agrees to appear at the Wizard World Comic Con in Richmond, Virginia, where he will sign autographs, pose for selfies, and more with fans on September 10th.
Oh my God, this is going to be epic. It's going to be at a Comic-Con, dude. They're going to do some sort of fucked up costumes and shit and go get their picture taken with Ryan.
I want to know, okay, as this happens, now, I don't know how many listeners we have in the Richmond, Virginia area.
Send us pictures!
If you are in Richmond, or if you are a listener that is planning on attending the Richmond convention, here's what I would love you to do.
Send us pictures.
Send us pictures. Send us your stories. QuadMcomics@gmail.com. I want field reports if there's any of you folks out there, because that would be epic. See that fucking line going around the block.
Does it have to be a selfie, or can it be an actual normal photograph?
Well, whatever he poses for. Most of them just do the selfies nowadays because it's all with the fucking phones and shit. But if it's like a quality, that counts too. I'm not, I'm not gonna say just a selfie, just a picture of you cosplaying as a Brazilian, a Rio de Janeiro convenience store security guard, and maybe kind of give the, arms wrapped around each other, one arm kind of giving him the gun. You know what I mean? Hey, Tiger. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it has to include the finger gun.
The finger gun.
It has to include the finger gun.
Okay.
So they have to be dressed in the security outfit with the finger gun.
Nice.
There is a Quad M reward for that if one of you kids pulls it off. Finishing the story here. According to the announcement about the event, Gene Simmons from KISS and John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard will also be in attendance. For Lochte, though, signing autographs and posing for a fee at Comic-Con isn't the only option after the debacle at the Rio de Janeiro gas station, which USA Today Sports reported, blah, 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 may have been exaggerated by Rio authorities. Well, we'll see what happens.
I mean, seriously, an Olympic jock isn't like the kind of place you'd expect to be at a Comic-Con.
Well...
You know what I'm saying?
You got to make your money somehow, I suppose. Oh, and he's also signed with a cough drop company and is reportedly slated to appear on Dancing with the Stars.
See, yeah, there you go. Dancing with the Stars. That's a show that scrapes from the bottom of the barrel.
No, they've pulled some quality celebrities in their time.
No, it's just a crappy show. I hate it.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, there's that. I'm not tuning in. Well, I did when it's the football guys. I like watching the football guys because it's amazing some of them how light on their feet they can actually be. But again, pro
That's why
football
they're
player.
pro.
Exactly. I've never judged a pro football player for taking ballet lessons. Makes them light on their feet, makes them nimble. Hey, whatever it takes to earn that money.
A lot of people can catch a football, but not a lot of people can catch a football while running full bore, leaping 4 feet in the air while you're dodging a fucking 400-pound linebacker coming at you like a bull.
Exactly.
Catch a football then, jackass. Then maybe you can make $90 million.
Exactly. I'll never. You know, there's a lot of people that will sit there and judge professional athletes for the money they make. I never will, because of the simple fact that in our free market society, and this is a very important economic lesson for you kids, as long as we are willing to go see these games and the owners are willing to pay that money, the athletes can make that money.
Indeed.
I have no problems with them doing it, especially when you consider like an NFL player, 4-year lifespan in their given sport.
And like seriously, dude, you don't get to be a professional sports player by being bad at what you do.
Oh, sure.
I mean, even the worst professional sports player is going to whoop your ass.
Exactly. All right, and so final little bit of a hot take here. Despite your love for the Ben Affleck Batman.
Oh, are they going to make another movie for me?
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh,
well, because you got him in the upcoming Justice League.
Yeah,
and then he's of course going to be he's co-writing the new solo Batman film. He's co-writing that with Jeff Johns, who is like the Marvel, or not the Marvel, but he's like the DC power writer. You know, he's like the guy at DC, just underneath Jim Lee and Dan DiDio. Okay, he's like kind of the bigwig know-it-all type of guy. And then Affleck is also directing this Batman film. So I'm seeing it going to be far better than anything that Zack Snyder's been fucking putting out.
Okay.
So news happened earlier today as we are recording on this Wednesday, the 8th, I believe. And forgive me if I mispronounce this guy's name. Joe Manganiello. Manganiello. We'll say Joe Manganiello has been cast. He will play Deathstroke. He will play Deathstroke the Terminator in the new Batman film. I'm psyched. If with having with DC finally, you know, like generating the new fucking villains, and this is a big one. I'm fucking stoked. So, the report coming from the Wall Street Journal here. Batman will face comic book villain Deathstroke, played by True Blood star Joe Manganiello, in Ben Affleck's first solo movie playing The Dark Knight. Affleck recently shared a video online of Manganiello in his Deathstroke getup, but didn't reveal who the actor was underneath the mask or what role the character would be playing in the upcoming films. The actor is also known for his role in the Magic Mike films. You know, the male strippers, like he was like Big Dick McGee or whatever the fuck. I saw it on IMDb, and that's all I remember was the Big Dick. I don't remember what the fuck his last name was. You might also remember him. He was the guy that played Flash Thompson in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogies. He had kind of the spiky hair and threw the fist out in his hand. That guy will be playing Deathstroke.
Gotcha.
I knew I could relate it to you in some way. You'd remember
some way.
DC Entertainment President and Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns confirmed the casting in the first interview discussing his new role overseeing Warner Brothers movies based on DC Comics characters. He declined to comment on whether Deathstroke has a cameo in Justice League, which is currently shooting in London. Johns also declined to say when the Batman movie will be released, although the earliest it could likely hit theaters is 2018. Johns and Affleck are writing the script for the new Batman movie, which will be directed by Bat-Fleck.
See, problem I have with Ben Affleck is I can't take him seriously as Batman. That's why I think he would have been the perfect voice for Lego Batman.
Now, see, I can, amongst all the other shit that we've seen Ben Affleck in. You got to remember, my first reaction when they were throwing him into the Batman versus Superman thing was, seriously, you're putting the manager of Fashionable Mail as Batman? Okay. Last I remember, it was, I want to bang this chick in an uncomfortable position, an uncomfortable spot. Saying, call me Johnny. Or no, call me Donnie. Call me Donnie. And of course, all the maybe we'll get Matt Damon as Robin, and, all that type of shit. But in the 2 movies that we've had thus far, and with Justice League coming up, he's continuously selling me. And from this guy, from what I have seen thus far, he's looking like a damn good Deathstroke. And here's the thing that's got me slightly amped up and ready for this. Name a Batman movie where we have had a villain that could actually physically, like in hand-to-hand combat, stand up toe-to-toe with Batman. We have not really had that. A couple of bruiser bodyguards may get a good couple shots in. You may go ahead and go with Bane in the Dark Knight Rises. You can kind of go, but here again, you had to have like an extremely tired, weakened, Batman whose fucking shit's all broke.
Last show you were talking about Everything Wrong with Blank movie, right? Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
I watched the one about the Batman, the one with Bane, Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
And every time the Bane talked, what?
Yeah, I was like, I'm Bane. Me and an ex went to that movie, and she was all like gaga moist over Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right? And the entire time we're watching that movie in the film, and they actually went and fixed the audio. There were enough people that bitched about it. They fixed the audio on Bane for the DVD release. The entire fucking time through that movie, literally, I'm like, I can't understand a fucking word he's saying. She's like, I can't either. And I go, honestly, it sounds like Sean Connery giving a sloppy fucking blowjob in a cathedral. Yeah, but that's exactly, huh? But I mean, at the end of the day, we finally have a DC villain that can go toe to toe in hand-to-hand combat, with both of them being like say physical prime.
Sure.
Where they could easily go to a tie. I'm looking, if they can choreograph that fight well, oh, it's gonna fucking rock. I can't wait for that shit. Because Ben Affleck's been training, man. He's fucking buff and ready. He's actually putting in the work on this shit. It's like he's taking this role as his own. And
just not buying it. Sorry.
But you'll still go to the Batman movie with me. I know you will.
Probably have to. Kinda.
All right. So as we wrap up this second segment here, I want to present for all you kids at home. We've kind of done this a little bit hither and there, but the QUAD M. How did I label this on here?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. So the QUAD M soundbite of the week. Okay.
Yes.
Now, a couple. Actually, I think it was on. I think if I'm correct here, on the last show.
Oh, the chicken in the fan?
You gave us rubber chicken in a fan.
Fucking A. I loved rubber chicken in a fan.
Well, I can't let you big league me like that. I can't let something like that just slide on past.
Oh no.
I got to come up with something a little bit bigger and a little bit better.
What happened to the chicken?
Oh, hold on now. Hold on.
Okay.
Now, are you familiar with the term EDM?
I think I had that once and I got some penicillin.
Think of it as electronica dance music.
Yep, that was it.
A little bit of dubstepping,
A little penicillin will clear that right up.
little dubstep, little.
It's like a cat trying to throw up.
I present to you EDM, rubber chicken style. Yeah.
Shake it.
Shake it.
Is there a video? Is there a video?
Okay, yes.
Is there a video?
Yes, here. Hold on. Okay, here. Shake it. Okay.
You can't let me listen to that without seeing the video, dude.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Shake it.
Oh, fucking Christ on my crotch, dude.
Shake it.
Oh, that's what a lot of drugs does, or no drugs at all does to people.
And just 4 rubber chickens. Oh, you want to go one more time with that, do you? Shake it.
Shake it.
So there you have the Quad M soundbite of the week. EDM Rubber Chickens.
That was good. That was good.
All right. So with that, we will go ahead. We will wrap up the second segment of the show, and we will come right back with some Reddit fun and picks of the week. This is the Quad M Show. Stay tuned.
In a city where corruption rules the streets, only one man can stop the serial killer known as the Blood Bandit. James Kurt, a former police officer turned private investigator, must race against the clock to stop the madman before he achieves his ultimate diabolical goal. When JK's brother Alex is thought killed in the line of duty and mysteriously returns with no memory of his past life, the stakes are raised even higher. Enigma, the comic book series from QUAD M Productions, written and illustrated by TJ Damon, with colors and effects by Jason Vickers. Enigma. Order your copy at quadmproductions.com today.
Hello and welcome to TJ's Bowling Scores for the week. I'm Connie Lingus. This week, Fuxhard rolled a 113, a 167, and a 151 for a 431 series. Way to be consistent, jackass. In a battle of wits, TJ is always completely unarmed. If TJ tried to speak his mind, it'd be silent for months. I don't know what makes TJ so stupid, but it's certainly working. Until next week, I'm Connie Lingus. Fuck you and good night.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of the Quad M Show. We are your hosts. I am TJ.
And Jason.
And this segment of the Quad M Show is brought to you in part by Deeply Dapper. Hey, are you looking for that one-of-a-kind gift for the geek who has it all? Maybe a little something out of the ordinary for yourself? Well, look no further than Deeply Dapper. Ranging from The Walking Dead to Doctor Who to Labyrinth to Star Wars and well beyond, Deeply Dapper has it all. From original art prints to metal flasks, handcrafted light switch plates and key hangers to handmade soaps, all based on your favorite Nerd World properties. Visit the online store today at deeplydapper.com. That's deeplydapper.com. Deeply Dapper, better living through tentacles.
Tentacles.
Oh, boy.
10 tickles.
10 tickles.
10 tickles. Know what else is going to give us 10 tickles? 10 tickles in the ribs.
Reddit fun with Jason. That's the first time you've done the segue. Congratulations. Look at you. Look at you.
Here you go. And so, like, one of the things we are always laughing about in these Reddit threads, despite what the question is the usernames.
I don't know that you're always laughing about it so much as grrr.
There's that too.
So perhaps the hive mind has something in store for us involving usernames.
Your username is how you die.
Oh.
How do you die?
Well, I mean, it's no big secret. I mean, my username Y2Ace, I guess I die of a bug? I don't know.
I don't know. I die of Bert.
I was going to say, how do you die from Bert?
Ain't no such thing as too much Bert, baby.
You need a healthy shot of vitamin Bert, baby. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's have the Redditeers sing us a song.
All right. Number 1. Now, this post is actually 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
Number 1, Pants Grenades says, shit. Oh, yeah. Masturbating in a storm.
Whoa, look out, look out.
Self-explanatory.
Yes. Next up, So Delicious. I ate myself.
'Cause I'm yummy.
Maxin' and relaxin'. All cool. Shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
I think that probably involves a drive-by.
Straight out of Compton.
Oh. That's racist and ignorant.
Oh, shit. Fucking everything says, I'm okay with this. Mercury Poisoning says, well, this is easy. Indeed. Blunt Trauma. All he did is write his username.
Well, can't ask for much more than that.
77 times. And dude's got a list of 77 ways to die.
Oh, go ahead and read a couple.
All right. Wow. Okay. Choking on a grape. Shark lunch. Shaving accident. Hunting with Dick Cheney.
Wow, that is dated.
Machete to the face. Mailman rampage. Had an emo haircut. Bad guy in Walker, Texas Ranger. Attacked by wolves. Walked the plank. Tsunami. Kidney failure. Caught in a stampede. Oh my God, okay.
Okay, let's go. We'll go ahead and get to the next name.
Cotton storm. In the fluffiest way ever.
In the fluffiest way possible.
I love lamp says electrocuted in the least honorable way. Sweaty Cox says this is awkward.
Oh my.
Oh, snoo.
Survive says I can't die, I guess. Cause of death. Exhaustion after singing Eye of the Tiger in a loop for 16 hours. Oh no. I give BJ says choking. the guy, the next commenter, like replied to that. His username is don't want a blowjob. Oh fuck, dude. Okay. Not a bear says I'm okay. I got mauled. Flowhard says a really, really intense menstruation. I'm a guy. Mr. Poops a Lot says, well, shit, this is going to be an unpleasant way to die. Falcon Paunch. Says it will be fast and painless as me and everything in a 10-foot radius is destroyed. Falcon Paunch. Stabby Tastical says, getting stabbed. Tastically. Elbow Deep Fister. Yep. Sloths. Oh, fuck your names. Sloth Swarm 1000 says, oh God, hundreds. No, 1,000 sloths surround. It's a swarm of sloths. They'll kill me by clawing me with their giant talons in a very lazy fashion. Ninja Disco Jesus. A quiet, gyrating crucifixion. Resonance frequency says, I will touch a vibrating object that will shake me to pieces. Science!
Science!
Cake Day Science says, birthday prank gone terribly wrong. Death by exploding cake, I presume. Oh. Username I Eat Your Pets says, karma. Renob151 says, backwards boner. Sounds like a terrible way to go.
Ouch, that's like an impaler right there.
Kinda, yeah. There's a lot of deleteds. Jack Daniels 1176 says alcohol poisoning after drinking 1,176 shots of Jack Daniels.
Oh, hell, I've done okay.
Oh, Slut says probably AIDS.
Mayhaps.
Microwave Safe Bowl says it won't be in a microwave. I know that much. Oh, shit. All Your Base says, for great justice, of course.
All your base are belong to us.
Yes. Got my boots on says, with my boots on. Steve Jobs took my liver. You don't even have to fucking. You just the name.
It reminds me of that T-shirt you got me the ones where I bought Christopher Reeve's wheelchair off eBay.
I forgot about that. You still have that?
Oh yeah, I've still got it. Of course I do.
Oh shit! Oh no! Now I lost the place. There we go.
Steve Jobs.
Speedy Boom says, huh, so I really get 72 Verge. Swift kick to the nuts. Swift kick to the nuts. How erect I am says, happy. Boo Ninja says, a ninja startles me.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.
Andy Rooney says, already dead. That's good enough.
That's good enough to stop right there.
Let's stop there.
All right, we will stop there. All right, well, thank you once again, Redditors, for bringing the funny one more time. All right, well, let's go ahead here and a little bit of the old picks of the week for the week this week. Jason, you got anything?
I do, man. We covered this in earlier shows, and it was when it first started, and it's Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've kept up and watched the whole first season.
I've got they're on DVR. I've caught like the first 3 or 4.
Okay. Get back into it and start watching those fucking episodes.
Yes, sir.
Because they are fucking glorious.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Yes.
The first few episodes you kind of start off a little kind of like wondering about it, but as it goes on, it gets funnier, it gets gorier, it gets nastier, it gets more fucking violent, and it's yeah.
Well, I think I had stopped watching, or it wasn't I had stopped watching. It was a case of because we were watching it. As it was, coming out. And then that's kind of when I was like going out of town and doing this and doing that. So we kind of, stopped. So I was waiting for you, but it was one of those deals where, okay, but since I know I can carry forth and I can burn through it. So it's a very enjoyable ride.
It is. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I got to give one spoiler away because it's fucking hilarious, but it's got one of the best lines in any of the fucking Evil Deads, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. All right.
But this girl's got his own shotgun to his mouth. And she's like, you say one more dumb thing, I'm going to kill you. He's like, baby, I'm going to say a lot of dumb things. Dude, I was laughing so fucking hard. It's fucking funny. It is violent. It is funny. And then it's more violent again. And just fucking gore, dude. Like, buckets and gore and blah. Yeah.
Okay. So I need to finish it up. I need to get through this first season.
Yep.
I know that I'll be discontinuing my membership with the Encore and the Showtime. So if there's going to be a season 2, I'll be watching it when it comes out on the DVD going forward.
Indeed.
But as long as the first season's kicking ass, I got to burn through it and get my duns. All right. So you got yourself the Evil Dead, Ash versus the Evil Dead season 1 on DVD. Mine, I am who I am, and one of them is a football fan. The foosball, love it.
The foosball, yep.
Love it. Can't get enough of it. And this week, NFL season's starting up. As we are talking right now, last I looked during the last break, Carolina was up on the hated Denver Broncos 17-14 with like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So I'll have to go through the NFL Network and get all my recaps and done with the finale. But and of course my beloved Oakland Raiders will be facing the New Orleans Saints.
The autumn wind is a raider.
Oh, it's that magical time of year. It's better than Christmas for really any red-blooded American male that loves beer and chicken wings.
Yes, I've been bracing myself for the memes. You football people get a little rowdy when football isn't on yet. And then it's like a few weeks up to it, you get all like agitated and stuff and everything. Football, give me my football.
The preseason starts tickling our nether regions. And we're just waiting, and then pop! It's opening day! So yes, needless to say, I am especially now that, my beloved Oakland Raiders are actually a fucking decent team now.
The autumn wind is a raider.
They're talking we're going to win the AFC West this year. We'll be 10-6, we'll be making the playoffs, the whole 9 yards, and just in time for us to move to Las Vegas. Which a lot of people will sit there and say, oh, so what do you think about your Raiders moving to Vegas? Like I'm going to be offended and be some kind of bullshit purist. Here's my logic on this. I'm not from fucking Oakland. I am not from California. If they go to Vegas, guess what? That's cheaper airfare for me to go to Vegas. And I can get a damn near cheap fucking room at a casino. If you gamble enough, they'll fucking comp the shit. So then all of a sudden I've got cheap airfare, a fucking free night at a hotel, and reasonably priced tickets because, in Vegas, they fucking, they charge shit to draw people in because it is a tourist town.
Indeed.
You don't think I'm not going to love the Raiders being in Vegas? Dude, I am perfectly fine with it. Because really, all of my shit just says Raiders. It doesn't say Oakland. It doesn't say Los Angeles. None of that shit. So I'm okay with the move as long as they stay the Raiders. If they change the name, I'm out. I'm done. I've had too much time and money invested in these sons of bitches for them to pull that shit on me.
Yeah, and he's not kidding, folks. He's got like a big Raiders flag and stuff here.
Oh, we got my left. As I look to my immediate left, I have my Raiders flag. I have my Raiders calendar. You look above on the video wall there. It's all festooned with Raiders memorabilia. We got my Raiders neon light right up there.
Uh-huh. A Raiders Christmas popcorn tin.
Mm-hmm. got my football that I didn't get a chance to have any autographs done when I was down there. There's a Raiders garbage can up there. Football helmets. It's across the fucking it's it goes far beyond any T-shirts and jerseys that I own or anything. No, I am a fucking Raiders fan. I bleed the silver and black. So I am very much looking forward to this season to see what happens with AC, DC, and all the rest of the boys. So, do we have anything left to pimp, promote, propagate, or pander this evening, good sir?
No.
All right, well...
I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Are you done yet?
Wait for it. That will wrap it up for this week's episode of the QUAD M Show. Hey, gang, don't forget, rate and review us on the iTunes and the Stitcher. Don't forget, like us on Facebook and follow us on the Twitter. Hey, Zach Boychuk's doing it. Shouldn't you? Until next week, this is TJ.
And Jason.
Take care, everybody.
You've been listening to QUAD M Show. Copyright 2016, QUAD M Productions. If you have any comments, questions, queries, quibbles, concerns, or just have something funny to say to us, feel free. Email us at quadmcomics@gmail.com or send us a tweet at QuadMComics.
I don't know what I like best about Gorton's crunchy fish sticks and fillets. What goes into them, or what doesn't? What goes into them is lots of mild, flaky white fish with a delicious crunch.
That's what I like, Mom.
What doesn't go into them is any preservatives. Absolutely none.
Mom, can I have seconds?
With Gorton's, I really feel good about what they're eating and what they aren't.
Gorton's crunchy fish sticks and fillets. Absolutely no preservatives. And Mom, no leftovers.